Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Yo, check it out. This video is about Tony Yayo on a plane. He explaining it to Vlad what happened from his point of view. I'm going to break it down how it could have turned deadly from a street perspective. So sit back. I guarantee you're going to hear things that you didn't even think about with this situation. But we out of here. Let's go.
Keep it going, 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 keep it going. Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio. I like the way it's going down.
All right, you know what it is. This is Tony Yayo going to break down what happened on the plane. Sit back, listen. I'm going to break it down. I've seen some videos already made on it, but I wanted to give my perspective. Let's get this thing popping.
You know, I don't want to say who told us, but somebody was like, Ja Rule's going to be on our flight.
So that means he had time to think about what he was going to do, and that's why he's being so sensible in this situation, because it could have went ugly, and we're going to speak on that in a minute.
So now I'm telling, you know, I told Murder, I told Chach, I was like, yo, Ja Rule gonna be on a flight. We not ducking no smoke. I'm not missing a flight home for anybody. Murder's not missing a flight. Star, Chach, no, the people that was with us was not trying to hear, yo, we didn't even have a second thought. We just knew he was gonna be on a plane, right? So me and Murder have first class tickets. You know, Star has a first class ticket. My man Chach got a business, right? So we the element of surprise was gone for us. Like there was no element of surprise. We knew he was going to be on the plane.
So they had time to prepare and get it right, but Ja Rule didn't. Well, we're going to hear what happens when Ja Rule get on the plane right from Tony Yayo's mouth there, his side. I'm sure Ja Rule going to have his side. Because remember, there's always three sides to a story. Your side, his side, and then the truth. All right?
So, you know, we start boarding, of course. Shout to Delta Airlines. We go to first class. We put our bags up. Now the plane is packing up now. Now the plane is packing up. Ja Rule must got a greeter. You know what I mean, Vlad? He got a greeter because he's by himself. He's vulnerable. All that bullshit he was talking is bullshit. He was vulnerable. He's by himself, right? We know he's coming on a plane, right? We sitting in 4D, 4C. I'm on the side towards the door. Where you're going to see whoever comes in the door first. Murder's on the side, on the opposite side, on that aisle, right? The plane is packing now. First class is packing. Now, this is how weird this shit is. There's 2 seats left. There's one up front, and it's like one in front of us. I was like, yo, Murder, it'd be crazy. I tap Murder, I'd be like, it'd be crazy if he sit right here in front of us. Lo and behold, give it like 2 minutes. Boom, I see Ja. He see me. He spooked. He could tell TMZ, he could tell you, he could tell everybody he was spooked because he only seen me. When you see me, who do you see? 50. You see 50 Cent, you see Uncle Murder, you see some gangster niggas around all the time that's on timing. Ja know that. He just got punched out of the concert. So it feel like the world is closing for him. So he see me, I see him. I'm not showing no weakness at all. You got to remember, this is G-Unit. We've been through the ringer, bro. We been going at it with not only him, but multiple street niggas. And not trying to glorify nothing street. We're just telling you the lifestyle. So look, he's right here. I see him. He see me. The stare down starts. Boom. He goes to the side that Murder's on. He come down the aisle. He's looking up because he's nervous. His seat is...
All right, let me give you a thing. I'm going to take you on a ride. Right? This is the way I see this just from looking at this. I'm going to take you into my mind. Right now, that's like you in the prison, you in the shoe, you locked up, the police come at you in the morning if you're going to wreck, and you say, yeah, I'm going to wreck. So now you're going to wreck, but your ops is also going to wreck. You don't know your ops is going to wreck, but you know, you going to wreck. So now when you go out there, because the police, they know though in the prison where they check to see if there's a separatiste. That means if there's a keep away from one inmate to the other. The airline didn't know that it was no separatiste, that it was no keep away. So the airline booked the ticket, put Ja Rule on the seat, and put him right in front of him, not knowing that it was his ops and that they had a keep away, meaning separatiste. Y'all know what a separatiste is? Put it in the comments. Let's keep this moving. So that's where we at. So now it's like you're walking out to the rec cage. You don't know your ops is out there, but you handcuffed and you walking out. And then now you get to the cage and you see your ops in the cage that they're getting ready to put you in. Now, there are different ways that, you know, people handle that. Some dudes would sit there and take it in. It might be two of your ops in there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, Yayo and Uncle Murder, right? So two of your ops in the cage, two of your ops on the airplane. So you walk up. So now you got no choice but to sit down. So Ja did what he was supposed to do. He sat down. But then now, for real, in the prison, you know what I mean? Or if it was on site, y'all know what on site mean? Put in the comments what on site mean. On site means, so y'all understand, but put in the comments, keep it 100. On site means wherever you see him at, it's on site. You don't care if it's in front of a police station. You don't care if it's at a funeral, in a chapel, or wherever. If it's on site, it's on site beef. If it ain't a beef like that, it ain't no beef. So I'm going to talk to all three of y'all right now. Stop this. It's not worth it. It could get ugly. Yeah, it's content. Y'all pulling out phones. Y'all getting on social media. Y'all doing all this. That's fun. That's cute. You know what I mean? But now that could turn deadly. So that's why you have to think for the next person. Now he's explaining what happened his side. Ja going to explain his side. The ego's going to get involved. You know, when the egos get involved, everything get to crashing and clashing and nothing works out right. You know? So now another way that they handle it when we in the prison, a dude go and they get ready to put him in a cage, and then he start, you know, cussing out the dude in the cage and, man, screw that. Yeah, I'm going to kill you when I get in there. And now the police holding him saying, hold up, you telling me you're going to kill him when you get in there. So that means I can't put you in there. So that's what Tony Yayo was getting ready to explain that he thinks Ja Rule did when he jumped up and said, let's shake. But right there, from the filming, the tormenting, no disrespect, gentlemen, but Yayo, Uncle Murder, what did you expect to come out of that? You know? Oh, okay, let's do the scenario with that. They obviously thought Ja Rule was soft. He wasn't going to do nothing. So all that was going to be a pump fake. So they call him what he did a pump fake by him jumping up saying, let's shake. They know he on the airplane. There ain't nothing going to happen. He ain't going to do nothing because he ain't trying to go to jail. We ain't trying to go to jail. We filming it. We already know this going to be used as evidence. So Ja Rule jumps up and says, yeah, what's up? What's up? Where we at? What we going to do? Now, Tony Yayo saying that was a pump fake. How many of y'all feel that was a pump fake? Put it in the comments. Because that might have been just a dude frustrated too. Ja Rule might have been frustrated. Say, I'm going to whoop these dudes. You know what I mean? How y'all want it? You know what I mean? It's two of y'all, so I can't attack because then the other one going to get me. So I'm going to let y'all stand up. Who I'm going to get the fade with? Or I'm going to get the fade with both of y'all. That could be what Ja Rule was thinking. But at the same time, Yayo thinking, oh, this dude pump faking. He ain't doing nothing. He making a scene because he want the police to come get him so they don't put him in this cage with us because they know we going to stomp him out. You know, or they want the police to come down here and lock the joint down because then they know they ain't going to put them theirs. This is what they're thinking. All right, but let's get back to Yayo. All right, so what we doing? We riding. We riding or what? Somebody tell me. All right.
The seat 3, we right behind them. We 4, C and D. You right behind Uncle Murder, right? So his first thing, when you nervous, he starts saying, yo, what's up? So what up? Right? So now he got one bag because sometimes.
Now, you see the way they say what up? Now, that's what I want to hear. I want to hear from Ja Rule because I heard from them. I watched their podcast. Make sure y'all go check out their podcast. I don't remember the name of it, but their podcast is fire. No disrespect. I'm going to get it and I'll probably put it in. I'm going to put it in the description, but their podcast is fire. I watched it. They had Little Baby on there this morning. Go check out Little Baby on their podcast. You know, they ain't hard to find and put Yayo and Uncle Murder podcast. I don't know the name of it because it's brand new. They already got 50-something thousand subscribers, so they shaking up the internet. You know what I mean? So y'all going to find them easy. But that's where we at. So let's get back to Yayo.
This is what I hate about First Class. Sometimes when you got the greeter and you think, yo, I got a greeter, I'm good, you'll come to first class and all the bag space will be taken up because people from coach will just throw it in there. People will throw extra bags in there. So Ja, he had 2 bags. So now you off point because now you by yourself. You got 2 bags. You got 1 roller. It wasn't Louis Vuitton either. That shit was. It wasn't Goyard. It was some other shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing expensive. He had 1 blue bag. I don't know what the other bag was designed or not, but he ain't had no designer bag. I'm not trying to glorify that either. Just
doesn't matter if it was a designer bag. But see, that's what I'm saying. You know, all this is content. Yeah, yo, we hear you. We know you get the bag. You at 50. We proud of you. You know, I even told my man Harlem Legend. Big shout out to Harlem Legend. I told Harlem Legend to reach out to you. So, and he sent you some stuff from me. But I mean, you know, we know y'all got the bag. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of what's going on. I don't want to, differentiate from the issue at hand. All right, so let's go.
just reminds you how much of a bum ass nigga this nigga is.
Okay, that's why. Now we know. All right.
He's saying what's up because it's full on the top of his shit. It's full. He put 1 bag in there. He couldn't fit 2 in there. Would have been gangsters. Murder shit was right behind you. You should have, if you was a gangster, you should have pulled murder shit down and threw your bag in there. So murder could have got up because murder started talking shit at that point.
All right. So he's saying he should have pulled his bag down. Now, if he would have threw it down, now you would have been forced to have to be gangster too and respond to that. So you should be happy it played out the way it played out. But, this is content, so that's why we're talking about it. And I'm glad it played out the way it did, and none of these brothers got arrested by TSA. So let's give them a round of applause for making this great content. All right, relax, y'all. Relax. I said relax, man. All right, let's get back to this. So that's what he said. He should have grabbed murder bag, threw it out. But personally, that's what I would have did too. So I agree with you on that. If you that pissed off, you see him and you ain't got nowhere to put your bag, and the dude is in there, you feel as a sucker that you beefing with, that's your ops or whatever. You grab his bag and you take it down and you even throw it in his chest. Take this, sucker. You know what I mean? That's what, so I got Yayo's point. I feel you on that. You know what I mean? But the way y'all did it, it prevented y'all from getting your asses locked up. So you're supposed to be happy for that. Y'all right or wrong, put it in the comments if you think that, Ja Rule should have said, screw that, let's keep the beef going and give them what they want on social media. You know what I mean? Let me throw his bag in his chest.
He walked by Murder, but Murder was saying shit like, yo, nigga, don't fucking come near me with that bag. He's saying shit, but he's not screaming because we on the plane. You know what I'm saying?
See, right there, no disrespect. And this ain't to you, Murder. This for anybody. I would have just grabbed the bag and just bow. You know what I mean? What do you mean don't come here with it? I mean, what's up? Where we going at from here? So if a man's starting, he say that this is what he gonna do from the rip, and he's showing you that he wants war, don't wait for him to be on offense for you to be on defense. Sometimes, most of the time, it's best to be on offense. Just so you understand, put in the comment, is it better to be on offense and defense when you at beef and you run into your op somewhere? Put that in the comments, and that lets you know that this wasn't going nowhere. This is not beef. This is just internet, entertainment. All right?
Saying? Ja put his bag up. He put it up like near Star and shit. He put it up over there. Star, he a cool nigga. He just put it. I don't even know if he knew Star was with us. He put it up over there and shit. So, he going to sit back down. He said, he just asked us if we was good again. Then I ain't gonna lie, Murder got on his brook.
See, that's right there. When he asked if he was good again, that's when he's supposed to just bust him in his mouth. Somebody tell me, should he just bust him in his mouth right there when he asked if he good again? Like, yo, I'm not gonna ask you why you keep asking me if I'm good. Cause what leads to that is he said, nah, I'm asking because I'm not good, because I'm trying to see you. Now, if he go there, you already know when you ask that question. See, that's why my lawyer, because we ride. My lawyer taught me that during trial, right? And I said, yo, ask him this, ask the witness this, ask the witness that. He said, do you know the answer they're going to give? I said, no. The lawyer said, well, we in the courtroom, we don't ask questions to answers, if we don't know the answer that's going to be given. So if you ask the dude, what you mean if I'm good? Right there, that's fighting words. If y'all agree that's fighting words, put it in the comment. You ask somebody what's good, and they say, what you mean what's good? Well, is that fighting words to you? Because where I come from, that's fighting words. So y'all put in the comments and let me know where y'all tapping in from. We got to get some comments moving in here to get me back in the algorithm. So just put in the comments where y'all tapping in from and let me know if that's fighting words. That's like if somebody could we ride. That's like a dude come on Rikers Island and he got on a fly pair of Jordans and the dude roll up to him and say, what size are those? We know that's fighting words in the joint. Y'all laugh out here when somebody say what size it and think it's a joke that they really mean one size until somebody pop, bust you in your mouth. You know, then you know when somebody asks you if it's fighting size, you're supposed to just pop off. So if somebody asks you, you know, what you mean if I'm good? Pop off. Let's keep it popping.
Bullshit. He just was like, yo, homie, don't fucking talk to me.
See, right there, too much talking. No disrespect, too much talking. That's when you both should have just sat there and not said nothing to each other. If y'all wasn't gonna put hands on each other and wait till you get out, you follow whoever trying to follow to be the aggressor, and you catch him in a dark alley and you already know. You know? Let's go. What about the joint?
And then that's how like it initially started. And then it came to a point where I don't think Josh sat down. He was kind of nervous to sit down.
Of course he was nervous to sit down. He better be nervous to sit down and put his back to his two ops. If y'all feel that he should have been nervous to sit down or he shouldn't have been nervous to sit down, put that in the comments. You know what I mean? He better be nervous to sit down and turn his back to two ops for 5 hours. Come on, dog. Man.
He was nervous to sit down after Murder said that to him, like, yo, we good? Like, are we going to be good on the flight? You know, because him and 50 was on the flight.
See, all that should have been communicated. When he said, what you mean? You know, you good, you know what I mean? Nah, I mean, we going to be good or we gonna be civil until we get here. We just going to shake and bake and tear this joint up. You know, no disrespect because we like to ride, right? That's like when I went on Queen's Flip, my first time on Queen's Flip. I heard some stories about Queen's Flip be disrespectful to the OGs and try and play the OGs out from my era. So I went in there and before we even began, I let them know, yo, where we at, son? We going to tear this joint up or not? I ain't going there trying to have no conversation about I heard this and I heard that. No, what's up? What we going to do, my nigga? We going to have a real interview or we going to play these games? And that's what you're supposed to say, yo, what we going to do? We have a civilized flight or what? We going to call a truce for this 5 hours so none of us get locked up, or is it on site? If it's on site, let's pop off now so me and my man can tear you out the frame, or Ja Rule could tell them so I can tear both you and your man out the frame. I don't think that would have happened, but, you know, it sounds good. But just so you understand where I'm at.
And his head didn't get punched off. But he was lucky. Because I guarantee him and 50 wasn't like that close to each other. Because if he would have sat maybe 2 rows up or 2 seats up, I don't think nothing would have really happened. But he was so close that he had to fucking say something. So the nervous factor to me is he kept saying, yo, we good? He wasn't even saying it in an aggressive way. He was like,
yeah, because he didn't want no problems. He know he on the airplane, so he said, yo, family, we good? Could I sit down and turn my back to you for 5 hours without you busting me in the back of my head while I fall asleep, or I'm just sitting here playing with my TikTok or watching Unique Mecca audio at YouTube? You know, that's all he was asking. I mean, I'm just keeping it 100. We ain't picking no sides over here at Unique Mecca audio. I'm just letting it be known what it is.
Like, yo, we good, we good, we good. And I'm like, why is this? Murder's like, yo, why the fuck is you talking to us?
Right there, I would have went in Murder's mouth. No disrespect to Murder. Whoever it is that's going to ask me, why the F are you talking to me? Right there, it would have been time to fight because we already know where we at, you know, from your aggression and the way you responding. That's the way it works on the street. Murder, you know what I'm saying. Let's keep it 100. If I said that to you, Murder, tell what would happen. You'll bust me in my mouth if I ask you why why you keep talking to me. You already know right there. It's a beef and it's on and popping. All right, let's get it going.
So now that was loud. Murder, you know, his voice carries. Shout out to Uncle Murder, Real Report. Y'all check us out, man. We got a whole bunch of shit going on.
Pause. That's it. The Real Report. Make sure y'all check out The Real Report with Uncle Murder and Yayo. I love that joint. It just came on. They only got like 2 episodes, but I watched both episodes all the way to the end. Y'all, round of applause to y'all in The Real Report. All right. Relax, y'all. Relax, man. Hey, I was going to do the reaction to that, but y'all was talking about a bunch of other stuff. But y'all, Y'all do some good content, so I'll probably be, if that's all right with y'all, you know, for me to do the reaction. I'm gonna even put my number up. If you got an issue with me doing a reaction to your real report, put it in there and let me know. And you know, and I ain't even gonna touch it because, like I said, I don't go chasing people, and that's why I don't disrespect nobody. I just get both sides of the coin. All right, let's get back to that murder.
Shout to VladTV. So he just started talking, and he was like, and Murder got up and was like, "What's up?" You know, Murder working out now and shit. So he's on some other shit. He want to knock out a rapper and all that. So Murder want to knock him out. So,
but it wasn't the place of time, so we understand why Murder didn't, you know, attempt to knock him out. Because, you know, Ja Rule would say, nah, he'll try and knock me out. So, you know, we got to play fair over here at the Mecca.
I'm telling Murder, I'm like, you know, I'm being a sensible one. I know it sounds crazy, but I'm like, yo, Murder, yo, you know you're going to get 86th off these flights. We fly to Dubai. No more smoke duck in Morocco, nigga.
See, that's what a real friend do. Let them know, like, your family, if you do this, we ain't going to be going to these foreign countries, eating these exotic foods and dealing with these exotic women. So think twice, because we got more to lose. I think Jay-Z said it best, right? If I shoot you, I'm brainless. And if you shoot me, you famous. Think about that.
No more caviar pancakes in Paris, nigga. No more black sand in the canal.
And let's keep it 100, right? Because I got to give Yayo his props. Yayo his props introduced us to this caviar pancake. I never heard of no caviar pancakes. Anybody ever heard of caviar pancakes? Put it in the comments and keep it 100. You know what I mean? From I heard him say it the first time, he said some things in cuisines from other countries that I don't know nothing about. But I know how to stay in my lane and admit that I'm not in that lane. You know what I mean? But big shout out and thank you for introducing me to caviar pancakes. All right? I ain't tried yet, but you know.
Canary Islands, nigga. None of that shit. So, you know what I'm saying? No more Italy and Sardinia resorts or wherever the fuck we was at. I'm thinking about, damn, we're going to get 86th off this flight because Ja's so nervous and scared and off point because he by himself. That's number one. And
key word, Ja was on point. Let's keep it moving.
Number two is the element of surprise. That's how you know I'm not lying. It's the element of surprise. He didn't know we was on the plane. You know what I told Ja? We knew you was on the plane. And he was like, how'd you know that? From the what's the name shit? He's so stupid. We like, what's the name? Nah, we knew you was on the plane because it was spoken on before we came in there, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We knew we had to, come on, you know we got G-Unit fans. You know motherfuckers roll up, man, fuck Ja Rule, man. We fuck with 50 and G-Unit. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that nigga, man. Yo, that nigga on your flight.
That's the way it be, too.
So, words exchanged, him and Murder about to get it on, right? So I'm like, yo, Murder, chill.
Did you have the camera? Did you have the camera?
Murder, you gonna get 86th off these flights, bro. No.
See, the voice of reason, I respect that. I got to give another round of applause. I got to give another round of applause for that. You know, stop. Relax. Let's ride for a minute. The way I see it, Uncle Murder been around 50 enough so he know how to move on international flights. Excuse me. Tony Yayo been on international flights and been around 50 long enough to know how to move in a situation like that. But, you know, Uncle Murder, he just coming from Brooklyn. He's still on his Brooklyn time. And that's why they podcast is so fire, because it's like they have that friction, but they got that love and that loyalty and that union. What do you think it was like, right? I want y'all to put this in the comment, right? Let's get the comments up here, right? Put this in the comments. How do you think Uncle Murder got down? I think that Tony Yayo went to 50 and said, yo, this is my man. He one of us. I'm telling you, he ain't going to flip. And 50 said, yo, you know, if this dude flip and I bring him in, you know I'm going to flip on you. Whatever he do, you responsible for. So if what he do is worth killing for, that means that you worth dying for. So you're going to allow him to come around us knowing that if he violates, that you get the punishment for his violation because you brought him in. And that's the way it is when you bring somebody in. If you bring somebody in and that person violate and that person do something treacherous that deserve their head taken off, then it's your job to take that head off. Not my job as the boss. It's your job to take his head off. If you don't take his head off, then it's my job to take your head off. So I'm letting you know now, if he violate, screw him. I'm going at you. And 50 said, we're going to let him in. They let him in. They got a beautiful team. They making money. They making history. They even doing YouTube, podcasting.
More Hawaii, no Dubai, no red light district, none of that. Yo, I'm like, yo, chill, because he's being the police. He's, it's murder, it's murder, you making it hot. Everybody know when you on a plane, that shit is federal.
All right, stop, right? Well, I got to keep it 100, right? I got to keep 100. You're 100% right. But then from Ja Rule's point, he might have just been fed up with him and say, man, y'all trolling me in person. It's bad enough you do it on the social media behind a hidden keyboard, but you troll me in person, what you want to do? But, you know, and he might have just lost it and spazzed on y'all. I'm just keeping it 100. That don't mean that he was pump faking, you know? Where we come from, that's called a tough man check-in. Let me explain that to you. So we riding. Yayo was saying that he feel that Ja Rule did a tough man check-in. A tough man check-in go like this. A dude know that he had 30 days to get his paperwork, and his paperwork ain't gonna get there, and he already know it, right? Or he did some violation on the compound, like he owe a bunch of people, and another gang getting ready to stab him up, or a dude getting ready to stab him up. So now what he do is he'll sit there and he'll go to the kitchen and he'll jump off in the kitchen and start an argument in the fight in the kitchen, knowing from that argument that they're gonna lock him up. So he go in the kitchen and be like, man, screw you. Who you trying to do? You in my seat. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Tough man check-in, you know? Or tough man check-in. Let me give you another example. A tough man check-in go like this, right? And go check out Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories if you want to hear more of these prison stories. I'm out in Lone Park, California. Dude comes there right before 4 o'clock count. At 4 o'clock count, they lock us down. When they let us out from 4 o'clock count, it's a Mexican dude there for the Northaniels. Northaniels is allowed on the compound in Lone Park because they got ran off the compound. Let's keep it 100. So you already know they keep the separatists like that. But this dude, they made a mistake or they intentionally sent him there to be killed. So when he gets there and he comes and we by the metal detector waiting on him to call the first wreck move, and we see this new Spanish dude just got off the bus, got the bus shoes on, and we say, yo, what set you with, homie, so we could guide you to your set? And he said, oh, I'm Nathaniel. Where the Nathaniels at? And we looked at him like, Nathaniel? Ain't no Nathaniels here. He said, yo, you know y'all beefing with the Serranos, and the Serranos is here. And he said, ain't no Nathaniels. Right there, he had a chance to go check in. But instead, he said, nah. You know what I mean? As soon as they opened the door, right? What he did was the first Spanish dude he see, he don't know if he was a paisan. He don't know, paisa, they call it. They don't know if he's a paisa. They don't know if he's a Serrano. You know, they don't know, you know, what he is. But he just popped off on the first Spanish dude. And they get the rumbling, you know? Now, that's called a tough man check-in. He know he ain't gonna beat 10 of them, so he just grabbed any Spanish dude that he saw that might be from a gang that looked like a gang that he beefing with and just popped off on him. You know, that's a tough man check-in. So now he gets locked up, but when he get to the next jail that he's at and they ask him, hey, why are you here? Then he's gonna say, nah, they put me on the compound with the Serranos and I had to pop off. You was on the compound with the Serranos? Yeah, and you ain't check in? Nah. You know what I mean? I still there toe to toe. And that's a tough man check-in. Now he can brag that he did it. Like, let me give you another one, right? Like a dude sit there, he know he hot, his paperwork, you know, ain't coming. None of that. So he calls a tough man check-in so he can get to the next jail and not have to deal with the paperwork. So he said, yo, I showed them dudes my paperwork. They ain't want to go with it, so I popped off in the kitchen. So he do a tough man check-in like he go fight somebody in the kitchen, get locked up, go to the next jail, and now he could tell them that he showed them his paperwork, but, you know, dude was still starting with him, so whatever. So now I make a dude think twice. He want to jump on him because whatever until the word get there, because the prison system is so small, just like the music industry is so small. You got beef with somebody, you know what happened. Look how fast. First 50 Cent dropped the first little clip of the video with them clowning Ja Rule, and then next thing you know, Bullet Scotty drop a joint. Go check out Bullet Scotty too. Bullet Scotty drop a joint showing Ja Rule jumping up saying, let's shake. You know, but that's how that thing moves, man. Let's keep this moving.
I did Fed time, bro. That shit is the feds when they come. You heard? So he's making a scene to get off the plane.
That's the tough man check-in. If that's what he's doing, or he might just have been fed up with it, Yayo, and really wanted to shake and bake. Y'all don't think he was ready to shake and bake? You think he was just faking? Because for real, when them people came and he was ready to shake and bake, he would have just popped off and grabbed one of y'all, the closest one, and just hooked off. But, you know, he didn't want to get locked up either, so let's put it on that aspect too. All right?
That's what happened. So I'm like, murder, just chill. So I'm like, yo, Ja Rule, I know you nervous. Sit down, relax, man. You know, that nigga was, it's murder, man. I ain't shit. What are you talking about? So, you know, he started, yo, sit down, relax, man. We know you scared. So he was getting tight because I'm relaxed. I'm like, So then I was like, yo, you on some police shit? This nigga was like, nah, your man the police. Who 50 ever told on, nigga? What, 50 had a problem with Preem?
Hey, y'all, I don't want to get into this because I didn't like this part, Yayo, so I ain't going to get into that. We're going to get back into where, let me speed up to get to where we was at. I don't think you should have even spoke on 50's beef with Preem. That's just me from where I stand at on a man point. You don't have to explain 50's beef with Preem because 50 could deal with his own issue. You your own man, you're doing your own thing, getting your own money, fight your own fight. If 50 want to fight Preem, then of course you're going to fight with Preem, but you don't need to make any explanations because then people is going to grab pieces of this and make it what they want to make it. And then now you open up a door for something else because you know how content go. See if I can find this up here. Hold up. You know?
It's always a method to 50 madness.
Oh,
when he
like this part,
bring Nas to 134 and God Brewer. I seen Preem being in the Volvo. My man almost scratched his car. You scratch his car. I hear a grown man saying we're gonna run out the car because it's not like the respect wasn't there.
He said the respect was there. So we're gonna leave it at that because I didn't like the rest of the end of this video. I'm gonna just keep it 100, right? But y'all, make sure you tune into my daughter's YouTube channel at Juanita Mecca Audio and Real Boss TTTV if you want to get the banging mixtapes and things like that playing. And Unique Mecca Audio Prison Stories. You want some more prison stories and Mecca Audio TV. But thank you for the commentation. Thank you for breaking it down. I can't wait to see what Ja Rule got to say to that. But I understand what you're saying. It do look like a checking move when a dude jump up on the airline knowing that he ain't trying to fight nothing. But then again, he might have been really trying to fight something though, Yayo. And I'm going to end on that. All right.
Cheers, toast the crime.
What?
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca Audio.
Mecca what? Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. Mecca what? Mecca Audio. And we gon' do it like we gon' do it like we keep it moving like we gotta do it like
Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the
Cheers, cheers, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime. Ayo, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio.
fresh out the can of 26. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio.
Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio, Mecca what? Mecca audio. And we gon' do it like we gon' do it like we keep it moving like we gotta do it like
Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spin a couple bands on the dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we